All right, so welcome to Central Couch Convos, episode 10. We got Brice Cook. Brice Cook is a man of many talents. So you play guitar, you play drums, ukulele,
Sure.
you play harmonica.
A little bit, yeah.
What else do you play?
Mandolin and banjo. A little bit of most string instruments, but.
One time you put on Facebook
Oh,
where you had a bunch of stuff and you had something with your foot.
Oh, my toe maracas. Thanks.
Yes.
And then my dulcimer I got for Christmas from my grandparents too. I forgot about that.
Nice. Man of many talents.
Yes,
I know like 4 basic guitar chords. Like
you played a couple times while we were down there. I remember
G,
that.
C, D, and E. Those 4 basic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get you.
So, and then I know like 2 other chords, but I don't know what they're called.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'll have to show you. You tell me what they are.
Sounds good to me.
But anyway, so Brice, you are a junior at Westview.
Yes, sir.
You play soccer.
And
First
golf.
time
Yes, sir.
playing soccer.
This year, yes, sir. And then I played golf this year too, but that's kind of
Which one's your favorite?
I know probably soccer because I enjoy the conditioning and I thought we'll be pretty good this year, and our coaches are really serious about it, but at the same time they are like really, what's the word? They're really excited for us, and I'm just really excited with the team that we got, and hopefully it'll be a good season this year.
Sounds like they're disciplined.
Yeah,
You know, like all the running and everything else that you'll have to do. But that's good. That
sure.
makes you faster. So this episode is going to be all about talking about DNOW that's coming up now and however many days it is from now, February 5th. So I don't know how many days that is. Anyway, so DNOW's coming up February 5th. And so this will be your, how many DNOWs have you been part of?
5.
5. So this will
Fifth?
be number 5?
Yeah, I think I was starting my 7th grade year.
Cool. So what I want us to do is give people an understanding what DNOW is, because there's a lot, especially the younger ones, and then we've got a lot of new students that have kind of come in the past year that don't know what DNOW is, and they've heard of it, never heard of it, whatever. And obviously, you have the younger ones that, your 6th graders that are coming up that obviously have never participated in it, and so they're kind of like, what is it? This is terrifying. What are we going to do? Type stuff. And so, just so we're clear, I want to kind of give an understanding of what it is, and then we're going to have Brice kind of share some personal stories of him walking through DNOW and some things that God's done in his life, so maybe can help you with that. But so DNOW, basically, it's as we just said, February 5th through the 7th this year is going to be DNOW, and that's $30, and so that gets you food for a weekend and gets you a t-shirt and time to hang out with Brice. And so that's worth $30, I would say. So, but in that, we're going to have small group time is going to be at host homes, and so those are going to be every age group. So you're split up with your age group and your gender, as in like 6th grade boys here, 6th grade girls here, and so on and so forth throughout. And then you've got 2 college or young adult leaders that are teaching you Bible studies and whatnot throughout the weekend. And then we're going to have Sunday morning. We'll have 4 worship sessions at the church, and we got Matt King coming to lead worship, who comes every year, and then Gary Permitter to speak for us. And so that's kind of the rundown of what it's going to be. But Brice, you said you started DNOW when you were in 7th grade.
Yes, sir. And my mom made me. I didn't want to. I was scared. It was the second day, I think. It was a Saturday. I had a basketball game, and Mom was like, "You should really go." And I was like, "No, I don't want to," because I was still kind of like new to the youth group. And then more or less she made me, but I'm glad I did. I had a lot of fun because that was when we did the movie, like make the movie.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and I made a lot of good friends. That's when I started getting really close with Alex and Forrester and all of them. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm glad I went.
Sweet. I remember your mom calling me. It's like, Brice, I want to go, but I'm going to make him go.
Yeah.
But you went, and you've gone every year since.
Yeah.
And so what helped you that year connect and establish friendships?
Well, besides, being with the rest of the 7th grade middle school boys, at the same time, I think it was like the older kids, kind of, from me at least, were like, hey, it's a new younger kid. Let's try to bring him in. We're like playing the game, like when we have a free time or playing basketball or whatever. And with that, I think that really like made me feel more welcome. And then eventually, like I opened up more, and then we're all good.
Yeah.
Big happy
yeah.
family.
So the first year, were y'all at Brother Steve's house?
Yes, sir. I've been at Brother Steve's house every year, but my 8th grade year.
So second year was at your house.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you've had Brandon a few times.
Oh yeah.
As your leader.
Yes, sir.
And you've had Josh
Yeah.
the last couple of years, and of course this year you have Josh and Seth together,
Yeah,
so
that'll
be
great.
good.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. So tell me, in your DNOW experience, again, this would be your 5th year going. What's something that has stood out to you about DNOW that makes it exciting for you, saying, hey, I can't wait for DNOW because of this?
Definitely the group, usually the group number of people, like, because I've been to, I mean, I've been to a bunch of different, like, church things, and, they're, like, 30 or 40, but this is something, like, everybody's excited for. And it's not, you don't have to go to Central. I have friends, like, they're Methodist, Church of Christ, whatever, and they're all excited for DNOW, and it just makes me feel like it's the opportunity for me to not only get closer with my friends through Christ, but to watch them grow, and hopefully them take what they learned from DNOW and impact it after DNOW weekend in school, and we go back to Westview or wherever they go to school and use it and try to help, spread the word and whatever we learn. That's what I'm really excited about. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think everybody would enjoy, like, the worship time is good. Matt King does a great job, and the speakers have all done a great job over the years. And I try to encourage people, like, and let them understand, like, as cool as that is, to me, I think the most important time is that time you get at the house.
Oh, yeah.
Where you fellowship together.
Yeah.
And you dive into God's word together, and you discuss, His truth together. So.
Yeah, I think that's, like, what makes you, like, closer. I think, in my opinion, like, the small groups, that's when everybody just opens up, like, where, like, you can be personal or not. And you learn more about the person, and then,
Oh, yeah.
Usually by the time you leave, you're, like, best friends with everybody anyway, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah, and that's good, and and I like that you said that, because there are some that, maybe hesitant to go because of they hadn't found their place in the youth group because they're new, or because they're younger, and knowing that, hey, this is an opportunity, if you choose to go, that you get an opportunity to build some relationships that are lifelong relationships. I remember my first DNOW I went to when I was not my first, but it was one of my early middle school DNOWs I went to, and there was a guy there named Steve, not Steve Douglas, completely different Steve. And Steve and I, we got to know each other during that DNOW weekend and whatnot. And, through that, from that DNOW weekend, it was a couple months after that, Steve gave his life to Jesus. And Steve and I grew up being great friends, and we're still good friends today. And he's a worship pastor up in Montana now, and, just doing great things for the Lord. So it's cool to see we're in that small group that you get in a house to build lifelong relationships, because you're living life together.
Yeah.
It's not just we're just gonna hang out and
do whatever,
and be stupid until 2:00 in the morning, which that happens too, But,
yeah, it does. It does.
Well, yeah. So and I like that, trying to get the same small group leader with groups kind of helps with
you get, like,
trust.
Yeah, because every now and then I'll shoot Josh a text, or he posted something, and we'll kind of just like say what's up, how we're doing, and then And then I just know in February I'll see him again, and it'll be like the same old, just Josh, and we'll have fun.
Right.
It's exciting.
He's married now.
Yeah, I know.
How you feel about it?
I mean, as long as he doesn't change on us, I guess it's whatever.
That's right. Well, it's impressive that he got married. He's still coming to DNOW.
Yeah.
He's bringing her with him.
Yeah.
But
I have a bunch of questions for her, so.
That's right. Very nice. Don't get confused and accidentally go to Joe. They're twins.
Usually, no joke, when I go to DNOW, I have to ask somebody which one's which before I walk up to them, because they look like exactly alike. I don't know which one to choose between them, but
they're tough.
Yeah.
Whenever I think that I have them figured out, I don't.
Yeah. They're both cool.
Yeah, they're cool. So that'd be good. And I'm glad that, again, put Josh and Seth together. I think it'd be a perfect teamwork for you guys. So tell me about this. With the worship, of course, we have Matt King coming in, and, Matt's not a stranger here. He comes every year, and he's done a couple summer camps. He's doing our summer camp again this coming summer. And so Matt's a talented guy and really loves the Lord. But what's something about Matt's style of worship, or maybe something about Matt that's helped you, as he's leading worship, that helps you get into a spirit of worship towards the Lord?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, his style of worship is really unique. It's not like, well, yeah, it is pretty unique because it's like a mood. If you say that, he sets a really good mood tone, depending on I guess I won't say he can read our emotions, but you know what I'm saying, how we're feeling. Usually, how you usually have the second night, it's more the emotional night. He does so well, setting the mood and really getting you prepared, and then at the end singing kind of as you're time to spend with the Lord. He's really good. I really enjoy listening to him.
I think what helps him too is that he doesn't just play songs that are popular that people just because they're on the radio or they're top of the charts or whatever. He's praying through those things.
Yeah.
And
some of them are his own songs. I think he writes some, and they're really good too.
Yeah, last year he did Death Kneels Down, which was one he wrote, and I think he did Your Nearness that he does, I think, for Invitation sometimes, and that's one he wrote. And so I'm excited to see if he's going to give us any new ones this year or not. But
hopefully.
But yeah, so he's talented in that, but again, he's very just super focused in on him praying through these things and letting those songs and some of these songs that are written, like whether he wrote it or someone else did, there's a lot of scripture behind them too, and so he's praying through those scriptures, and he's really lining his heart up. So when he's coming, he's not just saying, hey, this is a performance for people. Like he's coming saying, hey, I'm worshiping Jesus, and anytime that you're worshiping Jesus and you're leading others, it's going to go further than if you're just playing to make a sound.
Absolutely.
So that's cool. So so I think we talked about this on another show that maybe we edited out, but in college I accidentally broke. Well, I assisted in accidentally breaking Matt King's wrist.
Really?
Yeah. So we were playing basketball, and so we didn't have fraternities and sororities. We had Christian societies, is what they were called. And so for the guys, we only had the Bereans and the Ecclesians. Those were the names of them. So the Bereans came from Acts 17:11, which talks about how the Bereans were noble character than Thessalonians because they searched the scriptures to see if what Paul said was true. And what did I say the other one was?
Something like a Berean, something like a Nestlus.
I don't know why I forgot what they were. Ecclesians.
There we go.
I kept wanting to say Ecclesians. I'm like, that's not it. Ecclesians. And so they came from, I think, 1 Peter 2:9, talking about the assembly, which ecclesia is the gathering of people. And so they took some scripture on that, and what that means is like Christian fellowship. And so we would play sports against each other, so we're playing basketball, and Matt's Ecclesian and I was Berean, so we were on opposite teams, and Matt was driving the lane. Matt's a pretty good basketball player. I don't know if you've seen him play, but he's tall, so that obviously helps. But I think he could give Josh Scott a run for his money. I do.
I'll watch it.
But Matt was driving the lane, and as he was driving, there's a bigger guy, thick guy, named Chris, that was just in the lane, and Chris was set to take a charge, and so Matt was ready to, embrace himself for that impact. And so as he was coming in, Chris stepped out of the way, and Matt fell. When he fell, he landed on his wrist, and I think he broke it in that moment, but I tried to get out of his way, and I stepped on his wrist, and so that obviously didn't help the situation. And so that next weekend, he was leading out of DNOW for my youth pastor, and Matt had to bring a guitar player because Matt couldn't play guitar, so he just sang. So sorry, Matt.
He should have made you play the guitar
for
him.
Yeah, that would have been awful.
With an A minor C.
That would have been terrible. So Matt, if you come to DNOW, well, you are coming to DNOW, but if we play basketball, watch out. We will do our best not to step on your wrist or get out of the way.
Unless he's hooping hard on us, then we might have to.
He might dunk on us.
Yeah.
In his boots. He wears those boots. Flip-flops, whatever he chooses to wear. But yeah, so we've got Matt coming. Love him, and Austin is coming with him, who plays the keyboard. Jeff couldn't come this year because of Jeff's his drummer. Mm-hmm. Jeff had something already booked, and so Austin's coming. And Austin's, real funny guy, and he loves the Lord and everything. But Gary Perlmutter's coming to speak. You've been a part of Gary at summer camp last year, and so tell me some things about Gary that you like that may help people get comfortable with Gary as he comes in.
You never know what to expect. Really, he's a really goofy guy, and he's not really the type to make mad easily. He's really open, and he likes you for you. And what I'm talking about. It's just not. He ain't really like. He's really outgoing. That's just a way to put it. I remember. Where was the one that we went? We did outdoor games. I'm talking about. Was that last year or the year before? And like the lake.
Yeah, it would have been the year before.
Yeah, the year before.
Camp got canceled.
That was the first time I've ever met him before, and we were doing the water balloon toss. I can't remember who was my partner, but I wasn't paying attention. I totally ate one, like hit me right in the face, and he was just it was right there too. And then, but it made him laugh. It made me laugh, and after that, he was just talking to me after. And it was just really easy getting to talk to him, and he's a really cool dude. But especially with his messages. How am I explaining? He doesn't come to play when it comes to that kind of stuff. He's here for a reason, and he isn't the type of guy just to get a quick point and then all right, let's go play games or whatever, like how some people are. But he really wants you to understand it, and he'll break it down really easy for you, and he wants you to understand it. So when you leave, that even if a change doesn't happen so much, it'll keep you thinking about it like afterwards. But yeah, I really enjoy listening to him talk and speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gary, as I tell people, Gary's one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life.
Definitely, he's very funny.
You know, I don't know if you remember at that camp, but we're playing kickball, wiffle ball, or something like that. And whenever it was a foul ball, he would just yell, "Foul ball!"
Oh yeah, foul ball.
Foul ball!
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I remember that.
Love that guy, but Gary's been a huge mentor for me in my life. Just he's a student ministry guru, and I know that I know he may not think this about himself, but as I and others look at him, like he's definitely a mentor in the sense of I feel like he knows almost everything there is to know about student ministry. If I get stuck, he's who I'm calling, type stuff. And so, but he's wise in the word. He's got a gift at knowing when, like, how to read a crowd. It's like if the crowd is, getting disengaged, he knows how to say something humorous to bring them in. And so, I really appreciate that because he uses the humor, brings them in, and he slaps them with the truth. He slaps them with the word. And so, like you said, he don't come to play. He's going to give it to you. Yeah. In the way that God's word's meant to be given. So, appreciate that with him. But he's also, like you said, he's going to get to know you. He's not just going to
he's not going to ignore you. And
right. He'll get up in your business. In a good way.
Yeah.
But he's also a servant. He's not afraid to help out. If we're moving chairs, he's going to step in there. He's going to move chairs. So I love that about him. He's great at giving advice. And so encourage anybody that when you're at DNOW weekend, obviously, I'm available to talk. Brother Steve and my wife and all of your small group leaders and hosts, like all those people are available to talk if you need somebody to talk to and say, hey, I need help with this, but understand this. Like Gary is willing to be in the front lines of that. Saying, hey, I want to help you understand the gospel and who Jesus is. And so that's cool. Brice, what about like DNOW, as it's coming up here pretty soon, what are some ways that in the past that you've been able to prepare your heart for what's coming?
Usually, it's be like the Sunday school answer, but usually, just prayer, asking the Lord to teach you something before, like, really open my eyes and let this weekend not focus on anything like outside of DNOW, not like something I'm worried about or something coming up that I'm excited for. Let me just come this weekend or that weekend and just really focus on Him and just to prepare my heart. That's really usually how I really prepare myself.
Awesome. It's like Brother Colin says, hope you come with your heart prepared to worship. And so, definitely want that every Sunday night, Wednesday night and everything. But, DNOW, we want the same, come with your heart prepared to worship, so you can hear what God has for you. DNOW's fun.
Very.
You get a chance, like you said, to hang out with your friends and, goof off and hang out and eat good food. You on a show, make some wonderful food.
Oh, the best.
Especially the time she made the, she'll never live it down. She made the nachos with the. She used nacho cheese for macaroni and cheese.
Yeah,
is what it was, and so
it was very good. I remember that.
Yeah. So she always does a great job with that. So, so you're gonna eat well when you come to DNOW, and I don't know what's on the menu this time, but every time it's been really good. So. She goes all out, and the whole team that's in the kitchen with her.
If you leave hungry, it's your fault.
That's right.
100%.
Your fault. That's right. So that's Brice Cook. If you leave hungry, your fault. Put that on the quote board.
Actually, my dad says that, but I would gladly take it.
We'll take it. Chad Cook, right there. So sweet. So with DNOW too, tell me what is your favorite DNOW moment all time?
Besides like my first DNOW, like that was very exciting. It was probably 2 years ago when we started doing the community projects. I remember we were out wrecking a lady's yard. I'm pretty sure. No, actually, last year because we helped at DNOW at We Care, and I just remember how. Not only, it makes you feel good because you help out. I remember just like the lady like thinking she was really grateful when it just like, it was just like, man, I could be doing this more often instead of staying at home playing video games. It really opened my eyes, and it really made me happy to see her happy, and me and my friends, and I think it was me, Brice, Garner, Ashton, and Josh at We Care, and we were helping her move stuff out of a trailer. Like, I mean, she couldn't. It was a bunch of heavy stuff, and just like I said, she was really grateful and thanking us. But I mean, it's just watching her be happy, knowing that not only can I take it as something I did good, it's an opportunity to share at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably definitely my most favorite DNOW was probably last year's.
Absolutely. Sweet. What about like as far as some of the biggest things that God's taught you? Like, how has the things God's taught you at DNOW like shaped your life?
One thing would probably have to be is to. I'm trying to make it sound like it doesn't make me look bad. Not that I don't like pick and choose people I talk to, but everybody's different, of course.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's always gonna be mixed company. It's just taught me. DNOW has taught me to learn to be friends with everybody. I guess you can say it like that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, yes, everybody's weird in their own ways, but like I said, like as soon as like your second day DNOW, everybody's like best friends with each other,
right.
And it's just fun getting to know everybody. And that's definitely one thing God's taught me is just to learn to listen to others, because you learn more about others too during DNOW and learn what other people go through and how you might go through the same thing they do, and then y'all two could relate, and then y'all could be great friends after that. But that's definitely probably one, because I remember making friends with some people. I mean, like I'd see them at school, they go to DNOW, and then next thing you know, we're texting, hanging out on the weekends, and it's just because of DNOW weekend.
Right. The cool thing, I think most would agree with what you said, those that have been a part of it in the past. And, it's not that there's really anything magical about DNOW. It's not like DNOW holds its own power and, and type stuff in our lives. But I think what makes DNOW special is the opportunity we get to fast, so to say, from the world. And, we're spending a whole weekend only talking about Jesus, only spending time in the presence of Christ and with his people. And sure, there's people that come to DNOW that don't know Jesus. And, our goal and our prayers, those people come to salvation. We've had salvations every year. We've had DNOW. But with that, I mean, the more we talk about Jesus and the less we spend time in the world, the more we're going to hear Jesus speak, and so and we know that. And that's why I think DNOWs and summer camps and mission trips and all those things are so effective, is because we're fasting from the world and we're spending time with Jesus and his people. And so DNOW kind of gives us a picture of what heaven's going to look like. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In a way, because it's saying that's what heaven's going to be. It's going to be worship. Yeah. It's going to be fellowshipping together in the presence of Christ, and it's going to be all about Jesus. Definitely. And so I think DNOW helps us get a picture of that and what that looks like. So, and this year our theme is redefined. We're going to come from Colossians 1:15 through 22. And so we're going to redefine Jesus based on biblical terms, not culturally. And, we all have things about Jesus that we've kind of made up in our head. Like, he's our genie. If we, make our 3 magic wishes or whatever, that, all these things are going to come true. Like, that's not Jesus, or we use Jesus as a crutch. If I lean on Jesus, then these things would be this way. And that's not who Jesus is. And so we're going to look biblically who Jesus is based on that passage. And so our small group time is going to be through that passage. And then I believe Gary is going to preach through some stories through the gospel of how we see Jesus redefined and how Jesus redefines us as well. As when we see Jesus for who he is, he redefines us and changes us. So that's going to be good. So Brice, let's close off with just a couple more things. One, I don't remember what my question was.
I'm excited for it.
Good. What are you most excited about? We'll go with that. Have we already asked that?
I think we have, actually. I think we have. If you're a parent listening to this and your kid's like shaky about it, I was once your kid, 100%, and I know exactly how they're feeling. And my mom made me, like I said, and I'm glad she did, because if she didn't make me go DNOW, I probably wouldn't have went the next year. I probably would have felt the exact same. It's definitely not only a life-changing weekend, but it's also a weekend of opportunity for your kid to learn and grow in a bunch of different ways. Like I said, making friends, learning about the gospel, of course, and But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
need to
That's a great
try it
word.
out.
I think it encourages parents. And
Oh, yeah.
I've had a few parents like, yeah, my kid's kind of, so
Yeah.
if they watch this and hear that, that might encourage them to do that. So I appreciate that. And with DNOW, please hear me out if there's anything that, after we've talked and it's something that's not clear, please, give me a call, give me a text, talk to Brice.
One more thing about DNOW. This is just a good example of what I'm talking about. So, yeah, he won't care if I say his name.
I'll go for it.
Okay, so Charles. I've known Charles all through school, all my life. Like, it's Charles. And, well, how many years was it when you started? 2?
Yeah, this would be
his third.
Yeah, this would be his third DNOW, so it's 2 years.
So his first DNOW, Charles before DNOW, his first year that I know of, I've never heard him. He never went to church. He might have went every now and then, and he was lost like everybody else is or was to begin with. One weekend changed Charles' life, and he came across I think the second day. And if you see Charles now compared to what he was, it's like 2 totally different people. He's a Jesus freak. Literally, he's a Jesus freak in a good way, and it makes me happy to see Charles grow, and that's just how powerful DNOW weekend is.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely that's a good example of.
Oh yeah.
Reason why your kids should go DNOW. Definitely, it's just really good.
That's right. And DNOW shapes us. I mean, the things God does in our lives, because, like we said, you're tuning out the world. You're tuning out life's noise. Because you want to listen to what the Lord has to say. So that's cool. Great word. So if you have any more questions on DNOW, come see Brice Cook. He's got all the answers for you about DNOW 2021. All right. So again, just make it clear, February 5th through the 7th. $30. On February 3rd, that's the Wednesday night before DNOW, we're going to have a preview night in the youth house. And so we're inviting everybody to come in. So, students, if you're watching, please invite your friends to that are coming to DNOW. Maybe the ones that are on the fence, invite them to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Parents, you're invited to that. Parents, if your kid's on the fence, come to that. Brice will give you a word when you get there. But that night, it's going to be regular time, our regular 6:30 to 7:30. We're just going to cram everything in an hour, but we're going to have worship with our student praise band.
Our awesome student praise band.
Awesome student
led
praise
by
band.
the Brother Russ.
The Brother Russ. Russell Pruitt.
I know his name as well.
Yeah, sorry, Russ, I just gave out that information. So that's going to be February 3rd, and then after the band leads us in worship, we're going to get into some business things. We're going to discuss the schedule of the weekend, who our small group leaders are, what homes we're in, and kind of walk through, have an opportunity for you to ask questions. And then after that, we're going to spend a few minutes looking at Colossians 1:15 through 22, and we're just going to hit a few basic points that we're going to address at the weekend, not go as in depth for the weekend, but kind of give us an overview. And then we're going to have a time where we can pray for the weekend and get our hearts lined up, since that'll be 2 days before DNOW. So again, that's February the 3rd. I'm ready.
Me too. I've been ready since like last year's DNOW.
When DNOW was over.
The Sunday of last year's DNOW.
That's right.
When it ended.
So then we look forward to next year, February 4th through the 6th next year, 2022. Senior year next year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
That'll be my last one. Well, maybe not. I'll come back and help or something. Figure out something new.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So you can be a small group leader.
Sweet. Sounds good to me.
So yeah. Well, sweet. Well, sounds good. This was episode 10. If you got questions about DNOW, come see me. Come see Brother Steve. Come see Brice. We're asking your friends that are going to DNOW. So any last word for anybody?
Go to DNOW.
Go to DNOW.
Feeling alone, I could never control it, and nobody knows it, nobody knows. I take one step, I fall to the pavement, trying on my own. You step in and take me to the sky, carry me back home. With you. There's no gravity, take me back home. I'll be with you. There's no
Gregory Forster said go to DNOW.
He did. You know who else said to go to DNOW? Nick Saban.
I don't think I remember hearing that. I don't know.
Kanye.
Kanye said go to DNOW.
Yeah.
You can listen if you want to.
That's right.
But Gregory Forster said so.
That's right. Gregory Forster said be there, and he's going to be there. Yeah. And he's a collegiate athlete.
Yeah.
So he's pretty famous.
The Gregory Forster.
The Gregory W. Forster. So, yeah. We're out. That was episode 10, and we'll see you next time at episode 11.